Welcome to another episode of Bourbon with the Editor with Cutting Tool Engineering. Our special guest today again is Vargus USA, and with us is Joe McGee and Josh McGee. Josh is on my right and Joe is on my left. We also have Scott Golden in the background. Just keeping tabs on Joe Vargus over here. Joe McGee. And today we're gonna be talking a little bit about MilliPro and a little bit about the mock, but I want to start again with the bourbon we're drinking tonight, and it is a single barrel wild turkey from their private selection. It's the 101 proof, and the private selection is a different brand of their product line of wild turkey bourbon. This one is handpicked by the Russell family. There's two, Jimmy Russell and Eddie Russell. Jimmy is the father, he's the master distiller, and the Russell family is like in charge of picking these about a few hundred barrels that they pull out for their private selection bottling. And this is what that looks like. But this distillery is located at the top of Wild Turkey Hill in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. So I'm guessing that's where it, got its name.
That's why its name.
So let's try this out. Cheers. Thanks for joining me again.
Cheers.
Oh yeah.
That's good.
Ooh. It's strong. It's for sure stronger than what we have been drinking. But it's that's a lot stronger than a lot of the other bourbons we've been drinking. And this Peerless I had a while back. It's 109 proof. I think that's maybe a little smoother, but this is still good.
Yeah.
So let's go into a little bit of this the taste. So right off the bat.
Yeah,
Joe,
what I noticed, the vanilla smell and taste right off the bat. So it's a very pleasant taste. I like vanilla.
That was on the top of the list for the taste, that you might pick up when you first drink it. I couldn't come up with that. I got the oak barrel. I always kind of get that, but vanilla's on the top. Did you come up with anything?
I thought it had some heat to it, but it was smooth.
Yeah.
I guess I haven't been well trained in breaking that all apart.
Caramel and sweet oak, those are the ones that, I tend to kind of pick up on some of that.
Yeah.
But nutty coffee, I didn't get that, but it's good. I will say.
Maybe that's where I picked it up. My wife has vanilla candles, and I'm always drinking coffee, so I think I picked up both of them just from a habit.
But vanilla is a top on that list that they share online, and let's say I think that's dead on, because when you said vanilla, I'm like, yeah, you can really smell that and you can taste it.
Well, I'd have to say there was times back when I was in the Navy where we didn't have the greatest coffee, and when I think of muddy coffee, it didn't taste this good.
Well, if you add any of this in there, it just makes it better.
Yeah, that's true.
So I know we've done, this is our third episode. We're going to go into the MilliPro line. That's what we're going to be talking about here today. But we started off with the mock line. You got the TT and
we had the mock TT and the mock TM thread mill.
TM, yeah, and that was our first one, and wanted to kind of find out. Things have been going pretty well. You've got some good feedback from that, and how's that line going?
Real well. That tool's working out excellent for us. It's designed, completely redesigned and engineered tooling for the thread turning and thread milling. and it's based on going faster, cutting cycle times by more than 50%. So that's been very beneficial to customers. Much faster running tool, part of Vargus offering for different tools for different applications. Whether you need to go faster, you need the tools to last longer. If you're doing specific troubleshooting, looking for better thread finish, there's a different Vargus tool for the different needs. The mock's been very successful, and it's going to be a big part of our IMTS showing this year, including the conferences that they're having. The IMT conference on Tuesday morning.
Seminar?
Yeah, there'll be a seminar by our Vargus product manager, and he'll be going into greater detail of the benefits of the mock, which also just recently won a German Innovation Award for 2024.
Who are we looking at there?
I think that's Ami Yakar.
Yeah, it is.
He's our product manager, and he has been with Vargus probably 35, 40 years, I think, something like that. He's really involved in every tool that we make in new products.
So that'll be a great conference to attend Tuesday morning of IMTS.
I think it starts at 8 a.m. or is it 9?
I believe it's 9 maybe, at the one of the halls.
If anyone's interested in going, just stop by your booth. Yeah, you're at 432, 251.
And then we'll have a machine running some Vargus tools in our booth this year. So we want everybody to stop in and see the tools that we're going to have there. And it will be one of the tools that we're talking about today, the MilliPro thread mill, will be actually running on some dental implants there.
Is this a good time to go into what it is? What is the MilliPro line?
I think we might have had an introduction to Vargus, a little bit more of our background as well.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let's see what that is. Joe, did you want to talk a little bit about the history, 60 years?
So yeah, Vargus USA is a division of Vargus V&E Corporation and located in Janesville. Also, we're a member of the Worldwide Marimbo Ehrenberg Corporate Group. And we've been a leading supplier of threading tools for over 60 years. So we carbide threading tools, grooving tools, round milling tools, turning tools, and the Chevy hand deburring tools. So it's a whole complete line, all around threading and grooving is what we offer.
Okay, now can you repeat all that after you down that glass of
No,
bourbon?
I cannot.
Oh, he's been doing it for a while. You'd be surprised.
It's 60 years though, and it's a long time.
Yeah, and I think we've been here in the USA since 1972. I think that's was so. And then, like I said, we're just in Janesville, Wisconsin, where's our inventory. So, yeah, we're happy to be here, and thank you again for inviting us for a third episode here.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm enjoying doing these because, again, I enjoy bourbon, as you know, and it's fun getting to know a little bit about bourbon as we go down with each episode, trying a new bourbon every time.
Sure.
It's like learning swimming, right? You sink or swim.
That's
you
right.
Want to learn bourbon? Yeah.
We might even switch bourbons here, go to a different bourbon in the middle of this if we need to. This is 100 and what was it?
101.4, I think you said.
So it's a little stronger than I probably wouldn't have more than one of these in any sitting anywhere, but
sure,
it's still smooth. It's still good, and I still enjoy the bourbon. So this is a new experience.
Yeah. Well, like you said, 60 years of research and engineering and innovation, and that's a lot. And over 2 years of the research went into the mock threading line. That's definitely very impressive tooling. And it's for cutting the cycle times by more than 50, 60%. Well, what about if you're thread milling a very small hole, or if it's a very deep hole, or if it's in a very challenging materials, or say you're thread milling all of those, then you're running into different issues where a a standard thread mill may push off or kind of flex away, causing it to either break or cut a tight thread. A tap could wear out quickly or break off, causing scrap or other issues. And that's really where the MilliPro that we want to talk about today comes into. So in the different offering, there's a tool for depending on what you're needing to get done.
So it's the right tool for the right job is what you're getting down to here.
Here you're having less teeth in contact, and you're having a longer tool to reach into smaller, deep holes. And this allows you to have a more free cutting between the less teeth and the way that the tool's been engineered to relieve tool pressure and extend tool life, eliminate breakage.
Yeah, you can get a little bit of an idea there from that. You've got 1, 2, 3 there. Flutes and teeth.
Yeah.
So is that that's just one of the tools in this line?
Yes. What are the different styles of MilliPro? There's a 3-tooth MilliPro and MilliPro EL. There's a 1-tooth style MilliPro Dental, and there's also a 2-tooth MilliPro HD, and that's for hard materials up to 62 Rockwell.
So what does the HD stand for?
Hard material.
Well, it's heavy duty is what I
Heavy
always
duty.
say.
Oh, heavy duty. Okay.
I mean, they're
say,
so small, but it really takes a lot of abuse cutting Rockwell 55 in some stainless steel or titanium or something like that. This tool is made for tough applications. That's very difficult. I know at one time we ran a part for some oil well blowout indicators, and it was like a 440 thread. They were breaking a tap every 2 holes. Each one of these blocks, which there was 3 per foot for however deep they were going in as well. And they said, come to us and say, we can't buy any more taps. It was about to run everybody out of them. So we got the HD, MilliPro HD, went in and ran 40 holes without any adjustments. Unbelievable success that solved a problem this company was having. So that's why there's so many different styles of MilliPro.
Can we see the video of the
let's
MilliPro? I believe we have that.
Hey, Tim, you want to show the video of the
number 4?
Here we go.
It's the 2-tooth design that I spoke of. This gives you the advantage of the ease tool pressure along with the design, and it has a roughing tooth and a finishing tooth. So a roughing partial profile tooth and then the full profile finishing tooth.
And what's the material that it's cutting into here?
I think that was probably 4140.
Yeah.
Preheat treat material right there.
So it's showing the 2, and we just got done with, or was that the 2 all the way through? Okay.
Yes.
See, I asked about the HD because I thought it meant high definition.
The high definition tool.
Yeah.
That could work too.
That's just me, comic relief. Okay.
But yeah, not just hard materials, but difficult to machine materials.
Yeah.
You can see the advantages. High cobalt content, tougher to machine stainless, for example. There's a lot of it's a good troubleshooting thread though.
So one of the styles is for dental. Is that so how many different styles are we talking about? What's like? I know we kind of covered it, but
there's the different styles. The MilliPro comes in different lengths, different reaches, meaning how far you reach into the hole for the neck of the tool, or for the length of the shank of the tool, for how far it may need to reach to get to the workpiece.
Okay.
And that would be in the MilliPro or the MilliPro EL for that long.
An
reach.
EL is extra length.
There's all different styles and lengths and versions of this to tackle a wide variety of applications that primarily in medical, or are we talking about maybe aerospace?
Yeah, and in many industries, and even in general machining,
Oh, okay.
because the MilliPro is available in ISO and UN threads, as well as aerospace, UNJ and MJ thread styles. So, uh, which is where you do find a lot more of the challenging materials. But as you mentioned, also in medical industry, uh, with titanium materials, for example, and cobalt chrome, and the more difficult ones, and in general machining where you get into hardened steels, high temp
Sometimes you
alloys.
have an application where they have a small wire that's got to be held with a clip and in some difficult material. So you just put a small screw, a 440 screw, or something like that, which is difficult to do. If it's a big part, you wouldn't want to break off a tap in there and then destroy the part or have to have it fixed. So that's where this line of thread mills come in. Fixes all them little problems that is on everyday machining of all kinds. Aerospace, like I said, and even oil wells, we had an application that worked.
So you want to talk about some of the sizes and pitches that are available?
Yeah, the Genius, you can look onto the Vargus Genius app for tool selection and programming. And on there, it's an easy drop down, select your thread and pick out your tool. And on there, you can see the different thread profiles that are available, like I mentioned. And also, you can pull up different sizes of MilliPro from as small as 0.80 to around 7/16 14, or in the ISO threads as small as 1 millimeter M1 by 0.25.
We have a small one here.
Yeah,
We was trying to figure out how we could show this on camera. My
Tim,
camera,
I don't know if we got.
I don't know if we can get that.
I think you're going to have to take our word for it that there's actually a tool there.
An 0.80 is, I think, around 40 thousandths in diameter.
So
Right.
I'll hold this up. Here, can you
Real
see
small.
that? There you go.
It is so fragile and so small that you can break that with your fingers. But it will go into material and mill it. A thread mill is amazingly designed that way.
Yeah, and this is it's hard to take a photograph of. And I learned that firsthand just by trying to take a photo of that as magnified as we can. There, you can see it there. There's the one on all the way on the left. That's this one right here, and we're going to get better at taking photos of these tiny little things. But the other two that we have, what are the sizes on those?
That looks like probably a 1/4 right there.
Yeah, and that
so that shows a little bit better. And then this one right here is a 2-tooth. And that is, I think it's an M12 or an M10.
Yeah.
M10.
So I don't know if you can. It's easier to look at the ones that we have up on the screen there, I think, because this is just these are.
Yeah, and you can see that's the MilliPro HD with the 2 teeth.
Yeah.
These are all solid carbide tools, and one thing about solid carbide, it's very hard, which is good for tool life, but that makes it very brittle. And one of the biggest worries when you're out on the shop floor is don't drop the tools. It'll shatter, break into pieces. But if you drop a 1 millimeter MilliPro, you don't have to worry about it breaking because you're not finding it.
Yeah, I was like taking a photo of it. I was like, what did happen? You gotta lift up your paper and you eventually find it. But I'm not on a shop floor. So we got
a little carried away. We go from 0.80 all the way up to 7/16.
Yeah.
And then we go from 1 millimeter all the way up to 20 millimeter in the MilliPro line for difficult materials. So.
Okay. And inch metric options there?
Yes, the shanks are available in inch or metric, depending on what your needs are in your shop for work hold or tool holding.
So, how many grades does Vargus offer?
There's the VTH is a multi-purpose, heavy-duty, high-performance, high wear resistance grade, and if you pick out your tool in the Vargus Genius, it will show you the grade for each tool that you're looking at, and the parameters that are recommended for the material that you're cutting.
At Vargus, we usually try to keep our different grades down to a minimum. You get too many grades out there and it gets too confusing for everyday work every day when you're running the shop. So we keep it down to one grade or two grades. It's a multi-purpose, multi-coating, and everything works in most of all the materials out there. So it's been very good theory to go by, and we've lived by it that way for a long time.
It's good to know that you don't have to have drawers full of tools for the same size threads. When you have one thread mill, for example, if you're in a job shop and you're running a small production, it's nice to know that you can do multiple threads with the same, multiple materials with the same tool, and you don't have to buy a different one with a different grade for each tool.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know, I bring up the Genius a lot,
Yeah.
just to explain that, you know, that is the Vargus app for machining, and it's available to download on your phone for a free app or on the computers and stuff. And it's so simple. It's the easiest one out there. Easy drop downs. Just select what your thread is, and it gives you all the options for tools with the measurements.
So we were, I'm going to ask about the length to diameter ratios there.
Good question.
I know eventually we're going to come back around to the Genius app, but because that plays a big part of everything that's going on at Vargus these days. But what can you tell me about those ratios?
Yeah, that question comes up a lot because there's a lot of deep threads, where the MilliPro seems to shine the most, and it's originally a 2 times and 3 times the diameter of your thread deep holes that's designed for that kind of reach. And you know, in the industry they call it 2 times D or 3 times D, and that is saying the diameter of the hole in the ratio to how long or how deep it is. And I believe the rule of thumb is in threading that it doesn't need to be more than 1 times D, 1.5 times D.
I think it's 1.5 times D will give you the maximum strength on any thread in any material. I think that was defined by the machinist handbook a long time ago. But there's a lot of design engineers that think you got to go 4 times D just because, you know, if it threads deeper, it's going to hold more. But it doesn't really work that way.
Or there's a lot of applications for safety or other blueprints that require that. And you know, if you're a job shop and you get a job in, and the blueprint says we need a thread for 3 times, that's 3 times the diameter deep, that's what you have to make. You got to make it to the print. And there's other applications where maybe wear comes into play and you need longer threads. So Vargus also has MilliPros in 4 times the diameter and 5 times the diameter, 5 times D for some of the most popular common threads for cutting deep holes and small.
That's a new product we just brought out this year. In inventories, we have inventory in Janesville, and we can start offering that. And it's really useful when you need that. There's hardly any other way to get by with it. When you got to go 5 times diameter in a really small diameter thread in a difficult material.
Well, what materials? Let's get into that. What that you can cut with this?
MilliPro is suitable for a wide range of materials. Pretty much all materials from aluminum to steel to various stainless steels, high temp alloys, hardened materials, titanium, etc. You can go on, and a lot of these are found, especially the more difficult ones, are found in the aerospace and medical and die and mold industries, but just in general machining as well. Mm-hmm. So that's the good thing about the VTH grade. It's good for multi-purpose for all these materials.
Oh, what's the hardness range that's optimal?
Well, the MilliPro HD goes up to 62 Rockwell, so that's going to be your harder materials. Okay. The standard MilliPros are good for any materials up to around the 50 Rockwell range.
What about that? Like, do you need a special holder for this, or is it any? Do you have to buy something special?
No, the MilliPro is a round shank solid carbide thread mill. It'll fit in any regular holder. You're not required anything special, but we recommend the better grip style tool holders, such as shrink fit or mill chucks or hydraulic chucks, over say collet holders, which can be adversely affected and give a little when applied to side pressure of thread milling. But it'll still perform well in any holder.
Okay. I thought you were going to say
No,
something. Can you do a blind hole through hole with the MilliPro?
Sure. Yeah, it's good for blind or through holes, and you can. It's a very flexible tool. We do recommend good coolant, especially when you get into the harder materials, and good coolant flow to help flush the chips out, especially in a blind hole.
I think that's really important. A good coolant flow, or to get the chips out. Recutting a chip will destroy a tool, random part, right off the bat. So, in any tool we offer, we want as much coolant as possible. We even design some of our tool holders with special coolant ports, just so we get the coolant down there to get that chip away from the cutting edge. That's a very important part of machining.
Yeah, staying hydrated and keeping that lubrication
That's
up.
Keep the machine hydrated.
It's time to take another drink. Speaking of which,
I see your
That's
point.
smooth, right?
I was trying my best to come up with a good segue there, but I'm noticing you guys aren't drinking as much as I am. So let's get going here. So I'm thinking about opening up the Bourbon.
We got some work to do. Yeah, he brought up a good point there. There's a lot of challenges in machining, especially what we're talking about that the MilliPro is really good at in the really small threads or deep threads or the tough materials. So you want to eliminate as many other factors that may be challenging you you may also be running on an older machine, and that's affecting some things, or you have work holding where your part just is not able to be gripped very tightly. So you got to take that into account. And like I said, what you're holding the tool in and the coolant, all these things, the type of material you're cutting can all play a factor. So the more of those factors you can eliminate, the more successful you can be.
Yeah. There's more and more Swiss machines out there everywhere. And Swiss machines, a lot of time have a live spindle. Swiss machines make parts that you can fit 50 in the palm of your hand. And some of them need to be threaded. So we have applications where we put some of our real small diameter thread mills in a live spindle and a Swiss machine and make parts. And since we're talking about that,
that's being held in a collet holder.
That's right. And we're going to have a Swiss machine in a booth at IMTS this year. So when everybody comes to the IMTS show, make sure you stop by our booth at. You remember that number we looked up a little while ago?
We got guys in
432 250
in the back room.
I think that's it. We'll have it put up on here, but make sure you come by, take a look at our booth, talk to our engineers. All of our engineers across the country will be there, and we'll have a star machine running, constantly running parts, and all the parts we run will be Vargus tools.
There it is. Booth numbers up there, 432-251. That's in the West Hall.
We're going to make an enlarged dental implant part, some bone screws, some medical parts. That's
out of brass.
Yeah, we're going to make it out of brass for machining, just so we can see it. If we made it out of titanium, we'd have to have coolant or oil or something like that, and no one would be able to see anything. So, yeah, we're not going to make it out of the real material that they always make it out of. It'll be the same thing. Also, we'll have a whirling tool, which is a really new process. A whirling head you put on a screw machine circles the part, and the part feeds out instead of it feeds on. You can make very long screws.
Yeah.
So
Very fast, multiple leads at the same time in one pass. It's definitely a very fast threading cycle. So yeah, a wide variety of Vargus tooling will be on display and running on the Swiss machine in our booth during IMTS.
Yeah, and I think you really want to get there and check it out. Just be warned that the dental implant that you're going to see there, I think, is oversized. It's not. It's not going
unless you have a horse. We might be able to put it in a horse, but anyhow, but we wanted to show some examples of what this new whirling process. They've been doing a lot in medical, but it's getting really advanced nowadays, and what we can do with it. And so everybody stop in and look at our booth, and we'll be in the West Hall.
And that's just it's about 3 weeks away now.
Yeah.
Maybe, no, it's 3 weeks away, right?
Well, yeah.
I think it starts the 9th.
Yep.
We're at the 22nd, so it's 9 days. It's 18 days away.
There you go.
Swiss machining's growing in popularity, even in the small run general machining shops. Anywhere where you get the I see a lot of job shops where they need something steady running in the back to keep production going, keep the money coming in while they're working on the small jobs, the small couple of pieces of this and a couple of pieces of that. So it can create good revenue. And so we're seeing more and more Swiss machines, not only in these large high production shops making the same part thousands at a time, but in other smaller shops as well now. So to be able to showcase a lot of the tooling that Vargus has for the Swiss machining is great, because there's more than just medical and dental parts that can be made on these Swiss machines. You can put a bar feeder on it, and just some run it basically lights out, where it's just kicking out parts and requires very little attention, very little operator involvement.
Have you gotten a lot of feedback on this yet?
We've got quite a few new projects with whirling. Vargus has got a different kind of grade, different kind of grind that fits on this standard holder or on standard rings. Sometimes you have to have specials, but so far we've had great feedback. We're really producing good parts, very quick, good tool life. So it's a really new product, but it's working great for us, all across the United States right now.
And if they wanted to talk to someone, are they calling you, Josh?
They sure
I
can.
just want to clarify that.
Yeah, you can get a hold of your local authorized distributor for Vargus, or get a hold of Vargus USA at our website, vargususa.com.
Mm-hmm.
And on there's plenty of room to look up, plenty of opportunities, I should say. You can look up the tools. Looks like we're pulling up the website on here.
There it is right there.
And there's a menu on the side, or you can scroll down to the bottom. In either place you can find the contact us.
Yeah, it's simple. It's a website. It's easy to get your way around.
And there's an interactive catalog on there, and you can pick out tools. And once you pick out the tool you're looking for, there's a contact us there as well. Well, it will send, this is the tool that I'm looking at. Give me more information.
Well, I was going to
get contact with us.
I was going to ask you now. The next thing is, can you tell us how the Genius app supports the MilliPro?
So as I mentioned earlier, this is showing a MilliPro right now. You can pick out your application with simple drop downs from that last slide, showing that you can take internal left hand, right hand thread, your pitch, your diameter, just drop downs to the material. And once you select that, it gives you a list of all the tooling that's available for your thread. And that list will show you the dimensions, the reach, for if you're looking for how many times the diameter of reach you need. That's the L1 dimension. And the cutting diameter dimensions on there. And you select the tool that you're looking for. You can even filter it by the family of tools. So you can get it down to the the type of tool that you're looking for, whether you're looking for the MilliPro HD or the MilliPro or a standard thread mill.
That is a great app. I mean, this comes up in every episode, and it'll probably come up in future episodes.
It comes in up just about in every application someone talks to us about. We want everybody to be able to run their own shop, take care of their own tooling, but we're here for them too. But when you use the Genius, you can pick out your own tool, send it in, get a quote. You can go to your local distributor and say, hey, here's what I need. With the new improved website, we have a 3D modeling in there. We have all the tools. You can pick on it and it'll tell you right down through there. You can call and see about stock and inventory. Everything's right there. It's very easy, user friendly. What we're trying to get, because threading is always a tough part of machining. It's usually the last part. If you do it wrong, you do everything right, they used to say, but the threading wrong, you've wasted the whole process.
It's an expensive mistake.
That's right. So you want to be able to thread a good thread on size every time. And when you use thread mills, you have a lot better chance of getting that 99.9% right all the time.
And I touch base on selecting the tool, but then how do you run the tool? And if we could go back a few slides. Once you select the tool that you're looking for, then it'll actually send you an entire summary, show you an entire summary with the estimated cycle time and all the information on the tool and how it walked you through the recommendations for the machining process for it. So that gives you part numbers. You are able to take this summary and email it to your distributor for a quote. And then at the bottom of it, it'll even write a thread milling program.
I mean, this is proof that the internet it has its good side.
Sure. You know, a lot of times on like the contact us option, someone will send something in that they need this thread in this material. It'll go into our system, come out, and our guys will get back to them within 24 hours once we receive it and give you a solution for your threading problem. It's what we strive for. Within 24 hours, we'll get your question back. Now, you know, if you call us directly, we'll get you an answer real quick. But if you just send it through the internet to the email us, we'll get it back to you as soon as possible.
I'm going to take a minute and pour myself another finger.
I don't think use for time.
I can't handle that. I can't handle too much more than that. But this is good. This is a good bourbon. I gotta say, even though it's strong, it's a good bourbon. The taste is really good. Do you like it, Scott?
I do.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Did you need some more?
I'm good right now.
Okay. I should watch that.
You know, it's an hour later where I live than it is here on Central Time, so it's almost a little late to be talking too serious about tools without a break.
Yeah, really. So let's drink up, guys. Come on. Another cheers. Come on.
Sure. Cheers.
This is
Thanks, Dennis.
yeah, you're explaining it very well. You've got Will Nash, he's in the Chicago area.
Yes, he is.
And so you've got people all over, and we can come back to that. But I wanted to just, you were talking about the Genius app and the MilliPro.
Mhm.
It comes up with its own program, right? So how experienced are you talking about? Well, for someone who's using this app, I mean, will they be somewhat surprised at how far they can go without maybe going to someone else on the shop floor for help?
Well, the Genius app, we bring it up a lot because it's definitely the best tool that we have because it's so simple to use. And, you know, when it comes to troubleshooting, having the right parameters, getting guidance for starting it can go a long way. But it's just so simple. You don't have to type in everything. You don't have to look everything up. You say this is the direction the thread's running. This type of the thread we have. This is the pitch, and it even gives you a list of all the standard diameters for that pitch. But we use it on a daily basis. when we get a call, we're in there looking up tools and parameters on it. It's real easy to teach or show the customer. And actually, once the customer finds that they can go to Vargus.com or VargusUSA.com to download the Genius or put it on your phone app, it's pretty simple to just walk through it.
Yeah, this is an app, by the way. You don't have to go to the website, correct?
Correct.
And so, if
We have a lot of people that have a print and they need to do a thread. And if you have a print and you know what machine you have, you can just about answer every question on the app. And if you don't, the app will give you a little hint. It'll highlight in blue saying, this is one you want to pick. So that's how smart it is. And it comes out very conservative, so you run a good part and a good thread right off the bat. Then you can fine tune it to get cycle time, speed, everything like that. But just going what the Genius tells you, you'll get a good part every time. And you don't have to be, 6 years of engineering school to do it either.
Yeah, for the thread turning, it give you your depths of cut for each pass. But for the thread milling, you don't have to use the thread mill program provided by the Genius, because most shops have their own software these days. But you can. It's there. It's available if you need it. So then this is helpful for the people that are very knowledgeable and very technical and have their own software on just the tool selection, getting the right tool for the job they're looking to do, all the way down to the shops that haven't thread milled before and are looking to get into it. And that's something that we can come in and help run the tools as well.
what's the longest XD that's offered?
Times that what
The
longest
reach,
reach?
Yeah, the external diameter, I'm guessing.
yeah,
So
5 times the diameter is what the latest MilliPro is, and that's very long reach. It's not very often that you see that, but it does come up. So it's good to know that Vargus has such a wide offering of tools that we can cover most all applications that come up.
Yeah, I want to find out about you. You mentioned Janesville, but where is this stocked, MilliPro? Are we in the U.S.?
There's multiple U.S. stock locations, not only Janesville, but Los Angeles and Houston, Texas.
Okay.
You know how that is you can say Los Angeles without ever saying California. You know where you are. It's like share or something. You never know how to do the other word. Is that right?
Share
Or,
who?
yeah, that's what. No, give me that.
It's
I know.
famous enough, it
I
has
know the
one
guys
name.
back there in the booth are going, "What is he talking about?" But you can say Houston. Everybody knows it's Houston. It's like
Everyone-
Madonna or something.
Everyone knows Share.
And I'm sure that
Just
the
kidding.
20-something-year-olds in our booth are saying, "Who's Madonna?"
Oh. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe not.
That's one that's like Cher. She cuts across all the generations, I think.
Well,
I don't know, but we talk about it, and no one. You never have someone say Los Angeles where?
Mm.
No, you say Houston. It's in Texas. It's funny that way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get off tangent every once in a while.
Well, if we want to talk about the different generations, then I believe he still remembers when you didn't have software to write your programs, and
Oh.
where you're either typing it in or even before that.
Punch tape.
See, I've never seen that, but I've heard the stories.
I heard a story earlier today about someone who had to manually lift a big chunk of metal and throw it on a mill, and but I hear laughing.
But how do you punch? How do you punch the tape to actually get the machine to run?
Actually,
That might have been you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see,
Never
we're
mind.
trying to keep this a family.
It is a family, so we won't go into that.
Old jokes.
Yeah,
But-
just don't get too close to the bench when you put a big part up on there.
Tim, is this too much of a tangent?
Maybe.
So
So you're widely available
Yes.
because you're basically in every region of the
Oh, yeah.
country. So you're
we just
well,
and we add more inventory every year, just keeping it increasing because everybody's finding out about it. Everybody, there's no. I can remember back a long time ago. I'm pretty old, early '80s, where they say you can run the first 2 parts scrap. They don't do that anymore. Every part's got to be perfect, so you can't go in there and tap it and say, "Oh man, I'm oversized. I need a smaller tap." That don't happen nowadays. So more people are finding out thread milling is a way to go. So that's great for us. We need more customers, but we really want to help our customers. They run good parts, make good profitability, keep those machine shops running here in the USA.
That's a good point. Thread milling can be faster, more efficient. You can better tool life. Don't have to worry about if you break a tap into a part and you possibly scrapped it, or you got to figure out how to get that tap out, or the wasted time. With the thread mill, you can, if you was to break a thread mill, it's smaller than a hole, so you can blow it out, put another thread mill in, and finish your thread. You didn't scrap your part. So, yeah, there's a lot of advantages and a lot of troubleshooting, as we alerted to earlier, such as if you have chatter issues with your threads or burrs, things like that. Vargus has a tool for just about anything you're looking for. Run faster, troubleshoot, run longer.
It's interesting. I mean, you're talking about just different issues that you might be having. Breaking something in as you're tapping a hole. That what kind of expense are we looking at there?
Well, most of the time, if you break a tap off in a part, 80% of the time you have to burn it out or break it out, which destroys the threads or makes them bad. So then if it's a important part, you have to get a deviation okayed by the end user or the company that use it. Then you have to plug it, put a new thread in, or mill it all out, put a heated coil in or something like that. We used to say, if you break a tap off, it wasted 3 parts. Because you take a whole ton, all that, the first one's bad. The second one, you got to get back on and get it going on. You could possibly scrap it. Then you wasted all that time where you could run a third part. So every time you break a tap off, you could lose 3 parts production. So it's very expensive. That's why thread mills were invented to stop that problem. It's just everybody don't know that thread mills are out there, and they're easy to do if you use the Genius. I think I got my 10 Genius plugged in.
Yeah,
I think
you got to drink. I'm sorry, no, you said it 10 times. You got to drink.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't set that up earlier.
So,
Well, if you'd have mentioned that earlier.
but it's very easy to use, and like I said, the more machines that have live spindles, you can use them on any type of machine, vertical, horizontal, a lathe, a Swiss machine.
Okay.
It's very, very forgiving tool. Makes you look a lot better in running your parts.
That's very cool. We have several questions coming in here from someone says, I run challenging materials for aerospace. What's the minimum tool offset I can use on the MilliPro?
Well, the MilliPro, you could probably offset it maybe I'd say 10% at the most.
Okay.
So if that's 100,000, so you might be able to get 5 on the side, 5 thousandths offset. Not much more than that, because it's a really small tool and it deflects a lot.
I see.
And so here's another one. Does the pre-drill hole need to be on center and straight for the MilliPro?
For all thread mills, you need to be straight and on center. If you don't, then we can't be able to do that. We have a tool called the TMDR that will put the hole in and the threads in all at once. As it goes into the bottom, from the top to the bottom, then come back up and chamfer the hole. So it's another option or another problem solver we have at Vargus.
And that TMDR is based off of the kind of the same concept as the MilliPro HD, by having the 2 teeth and threading from the top down, because it can create its own hole. And as he was saying, it doesn't really care where the hole's at. It's going to put its threads where it needs to be. So I've had customers making casted parts where the holes were irregular, and was able to use the TMDR to put the thread where it needed to be, and that eliminated breakage from other tooling.
Nice. So if I wanted to set up a test using the MilliPro thread, if we're going to do something, what would I have to do?
I'll just contact us. You can go to vargus.com and go to the contact us on the menu. on the right side there. Over there, you can also find lots of information, such as videos on all our new tools and opportunity to download the Genius or run it online if you don't put it on your phone. And there's also, if you scroll down to the bottom, a contact us section. And then we can get you in touch with the application engineer for your area of the country.
You know, they can always call into the office too. We have an 800 number. You'll talk to our great CSRs, and they can tell us, hey, if you're in Ohio, here is Josh's email, text message. He'll send it to him. They'll help you there too. We're here to help you any way we can, you know, online, in person, phone, text. Any way you want to get a hold of us, we're here to help you.
Very good. So you, if anyone has any other questions out there, I'm going to take some more time to drink.
Well, I'm sure everyone thanks you, Dennis.
Yeah, but before we go too much further, I wanted to just follow up on the Genius app that you would put on your phone.
Now, if you download it onto your laptop, you know, you can use it there. And then each time that you would go back on and sign on, if it was downloaded on a laptop or desktop or whatever, it would update it. So when you sign in, it updates it. They update the Genius daily, and every once in a while there could be a mistake. And there's hundreds of thousands of applications in there, and we find that, we report it, they change that. So it's always being upgraded. New tools are in there. We have Whirling on our app. It has an app there to help you go right through. So if you have a Whirling application, you got the tools. You can use the Genius for that.
You can always call if you don't, if for some reason, have access to the information you need. You can call and get the information you need straight from someone at Vargus. So.
Or just need a little help understanding the app and getting it going. Like there's a menu section in there that shows the different materials and how we color code the materials. There's also thread standard information and a lot more stuff that you can find in the Genius. And you can change from inch shank tooling to metric shank tooling, which is one of the other things you'd want to do in the menu, because most customers use inch sizes over here in the US. So that's something that you got to keep in mind as well. Or if you're looking for programming and measurements that are in metric or inch, you can switch back and forth.
Very good. Very good. Gentlemen, it's been another pleasant bourbon tasting.
Thanks for having us, Dennis.
Well,
another pleasant episode.
Thank you for inviting us for another one, and hopefully we'll get a couple more in here. We're kind of planning a couple more. I think.
And we'll see you at IMTS. Anyone listening, CTE, our Cutting Tool Engineering, is going to be there at. I don't know what our booth number is.
Well, it's going to be a
431 somewhere.
Bourbon with the Editor booth, though, right?
Yeah, but we're going to be there. Timmy will put the right thing on the recorded version of this. He'll make me look better than I really am.
That sounds good.
But you know, we'll be there, and we'll be dropping by the Vargus booth. And I would recommend everybody getting to IMTS, getting out there in person, seeing all the different companies.
And don't forget,
including
on Tuesday at 9 o'clock, Ami, one of our design engineers, product managers, is going to put on a presentation
titled The Perfect Thread.
The Perfect Thread. And everybody that does threading, you get a chance, come in and see that. Absolutely, you'll learn something. He's one of the smartest design engineers, product managers I've ever met.
And this is a revolutionary new tool that will be focusing on that is really helping with productivity.
Very good. Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Cheers.
We'll close out another one.
All right.
Thanks, Dennis.
So long, everyone.
Bye.
I really do like this.
Yeah, well, you like it more as you go, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
I can get out of this chair now.